said no one time.
And we are live, baby. Back in full effect. Y'all know the vibe, more kicks than Cobra Kai. Busting shots every time we rolling by. Live and direct. This is Lush World. Mental Health Wednesdays going crazy.
Let's go.
I'm very excited for this discussion right here.
Me too.
With a new friend of mine who has a very fascinating story that she's going to share with us. CRISTAL. How do you say your last name?
Aguirre.
Aguirre. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. In the building, everybody, all the constituents, y'all know what to do. You understand the assignment by now. Like, share, subscribe, run it up. And since we got a beautiful woman seated with us today, we're not going to like the like button. We're going to love it. You feel me?
That's right.
Love the like button. There is no nation like donation. So if you got it, shoot it. But if you don't, it's free to hit that like button. So don't hesitate. Congratulate and run it up. Shouts to everybody that's joining us. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. CRISTAL, what's going on?
Hello. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah.
It's an honor.
Nah, thanks for pulling up.
It's an honor. As soon as Rick hit me up and told me like, hey, or I got the email actually, and he explained that what you do on your podcast. Mm-hmm. And he explained to me that you're also sober. Mm-hmm. And he's like, hey, would you want to come on and talk about your sobriety? I was like, yes, man, no doubt. I would love to. That's the number one thing that I love to talk about on all of my platforms is all of like mental health stuff, my sobriety journey. So thank you for having me.
No, it's an important message that needs to be carried.
Yes, absolutely.
And sometimes it's the right message, but the wrong messenger. But I believe you are the right messenger.
Thank you. I received that. Thank you.
Come on. Born and raised in the IE?
Oh my gosh. No, I was born in South Central LA.
Okay.
Martin Luther King Boulevard by USC.
Okay.
By where the sports arena used to be.
It's like near like West Adams or like.
Yeah. Vermont.
Yeah.
And then moved further east as we grew up. My parents moved us out of the hood. Okay. I probably have a whole different life if I was still living in South Central.
Yeah.
But yeah, from South Central, but right now I am in the IE. That's where I'm at.
That section of South Central has gotten incredibly gentrified over the years.
Yes, I agree. There's a lot of Mexicanos.
Yeah.
A lot. So it's kind of nice, to be honest. It's really cool to be out there. I'm not really out there as much anymore. I used to be out there more when my grandma was alive. Not anymore. But yeah.
Was it predominantly black when you grew up, or was it? I
was only there until I would say 5 years old, and then we moved toward La Puente. That's kind of where I grew up, in La Puente.
Okay.
But my sister, she went to like middle school, I think like a little bit of high school out there, and yeah, it was more black.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And now there's white.
Everything.
There's like, you'll see like lesbian couples, white with mohawks walking down the street with poodles and all kinds of weird shit.
Really? I haven't been out there that much, but from what I remember, it wasn't like that yet. So
it's a beautiful neighborhood though.
Yeah.
And the real estate value is going crazy. But so you grew up primarily in Puente?
Yeah, in La Puente. Yes, I went to elementary, middle school, high school out there. And yeah, La Puente was that's where a lot of Mexicanos live too.
Yeah. That's like 90% Chicano over there.
Yeah. And I remember when I first moved out there, I think during high school too, there was it was bad around that area. There was always like gangs and fighting at school. It wasn't bad, but I think my sister got most of like all of the hood shit. And she my sister, she's awesome though. She's
older or younger?
Older.
Okay.
Yeah, she's 9 years older.
Does she like have like Sharpie eyebrows?
No, she's like the complete opposite.
Oh, okay.
When she went to high school in La Puente, she had like a really good mentor.
They call her Whisper.
No, right? With all the lip liner, the dark lip liner. No, she's like, she got her doctorate. She's like the alumni, I don't know, advisor at Chaffey College. Like,
okay.
Oh yeah, she's completely the opposite.
So she swears Delaware.
Oh yeah, she's good. So yeah.
So you both parents in the house?
Both parents, yes.
Older sister?
Older sister, yes.
And a little rebel?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. From early age?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh man, my parents worked a lot when we were younger, because we're first generation here. My parents are from Mexico.
Okay.
So I learned Spanish first language, English was second language, and so my parents weren't really
ESL
ever
gang?
around. Yeah.
Eastside locals? No, English is a second language. Yeah.
You know those ESL classes, and I swear I would be in class sometimes, and you'd have like these guys who literally came from Mexico, and they don't speak any English, and I'm in there and I'm just like, why am I in here? But it's just because if you write down that Spanish was your first language,
You're lumped in.
yeah, that's it. You're just
There you
going
go.
there. So
We're just going to stifle your education now. Hope you don't mind.
label you from when you're little, right?
Not at all racist.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Oh my gosh.
But were you like, you were a good kid, or when did you start getting in trouble?
Oh man, I was a really good kid. I think it was until middle school is when I started to kind of see what it was like with getting in trouble. I started to hang out, or I don't know. I would see, I wanted to be cool, like the cool kids, you know, when you're young, and certain boys like certain girls because they're more developed than other girls, and yeah, that's when it all started for me. I think I had like my first boyfriend in middle school, and I was really cool with the security guard at the time, and he was always like, why are you with him? Like, he's a bad boy.
You should be with me. I already have my own house.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, and I was like, no, like, no. That was like my first love. And
The security guard?
No. Like,
No, but on some real shit,
oh, shit.
a lot of it be like that in high school.
Yeah,
I remember
that.
Man, one of my first girlfriends,
Yeah.
who was I was like 15 or 16. It was like one of my first serious relationships.
Yeah.
She left me for a 25-year-old dude.
Dang.
Yeah, it was like that. Like,
She said, peace out.
she said, yeah.
He's got it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
This was a BMW. You're fucked. You cannot compete. But,
Oh
yeah,
my God.
now he's on a couple apps that I'm not on as well, probably. So there's an upside to life sometimes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you had your first boyfriend
Yeah.
in middle school. That's pretty typical.
Yeah. And he would get in trouble a lot.
Was he a gang member?
He was like a tagger,
Okay.
and
I was a tagger too.
yeah, so he was out here from South Central LA too.
Okay.
But I guess he got kicked out of school out there, and then had to go over there. So so there was always things, and he would get like, I think he ended up getting expelled from there too because he tagged up the school and like got in trouble.
But he could write your name in really cool letters. For
yeah,
sure he could.
yeah, and then after that, I was getting in trouble a lot at home because I wasn't allowed to have a boyfriend. So my grades started to go down. I started to sneak out to go hang out with him or stay after school, or just start lying. That's when it all started. And then when I got to high school, then the same thing. I started to want to be part of like the cool crowd, and I started to hang out with people who would party. And I think I went to my first party like my sophomore year in summer or something like that. And I smoked for the first time.
Weed or cigarettes?
Weed.
Yeah.
And it was the weirdest experience. And then after that, like, you'd go to parties and like flyer parties where we'd go. And they'll have like Nas tanks, you know.
Oh man, I miss those days.
The Nas tanks, and then you're just drinking, and yeah, like
$2 for a balloon, one if you're cool.
yeah, or they just give you one if you're pretty.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where it all started in high school, and then senior year I would start ditching, and like I would go out and sneak out and drink and come home, and oh my gosh. So that's where it started. My drinking was when I was in high school.
But still, like, it's nothing that outside the box, right? That's pretty par for the course.
Yeah.
And I know you had a lot of homegirls that probably were getting pregnant and all that shit. So it's like you're not, but at this point, getting in that crazy trouble. Like, I got arrested at 13 for the first time. I was in juvie at 16. Got expelled from 4 different schools. Dang. So I was like steadily in the mix.
Dang. How did you start though? Like, how did you start your
getting high?
Yeah, or like what was the first thing you had? Like,
first thing I did was so the very first thing that I did was like my parents' liquor cabinet.
Okay.
And because you're a kid, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm probably like 11. Okay. I'm in like 6th grade, and I don't know why, but it was there. So I took some white wine, like of all the things, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I took one little sip of Tanqueray because of Snoop Dogg, you know what I mean? Snoop Dogg made me want to like drink 40s and gin and juice and all that.
That was good shit,
Yeah. I'm 41, so that's like my age demographic. I was in 6th grade when Snoop Dogg came out and all that. So I drank my first sip of Tanqueray. I couldn't even get like a half. I was like, oh my God, like what is this? I'm like this is like Satan's flesh. Like, it was so hot. I couldn't even like, so I was like, oh, let me try this white wine.
Yeah.
And like, it's so weird because like most kids, you'll be with your friends. Yeah. This is how you know I'm an addict. My first time getting loaded, I'm drinking white wine by myself.
Dang.
Yeah. And I drank it until I threw up. I got sick. Like, and even before then, like I had a crazy morbid fascination with drugs from a really young age. Like, I was the kid that would snort pixie sticks. Like, like I'm like, oh, like lick the glue, fucking smell it, like snort. I was snorting pixie sticks, like all that, like wild shit. And then sugar high, like super hyper, you know.
Yeah.
And then I remember, DARE. Remember DARE program?
Yes. Yeah.
So the DARE program came, and they're like talking to us about drugs, and I was like, crack doesn't sound like too much fun,
Yeah.
Meth, they used to call it speed back in the day. It wasn't called meth yet. Like, didn't sound like that much fun either.
Is that what speed is?
Speed is meth. Yes.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I had friends in school, in high school, who would talk about doing speed, and they would do speed in class, and I didn't know that's what that was.
Well, so originally, like, there used to be amphetamine pills and like Dexedrine. There'd be different pills, but there was always like crystal meth as well. But like people called it like speed or crank. It didn't like, it wasn't the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that didn't sound too appealing.
Yeah.
But like, ooh, like LSD, like I could like take this and I'll talk to the guy in the Lucky Charms box. Like, that sounds fire.
Yeah.
Smoking weed, that sounds fire. I was like, Cypress Hill, like, fuck yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So at like 12, whatever, like when I started like really drinking 40s with my homies, like just kicking it with kids outside, like older kids, whatever.
Yeah.
Smoking weed, listening to Cypress Hill, like, boom.
That's what it was.
Just gave me like an instant, like, oh, this is where I belong.
Yeah.
This is my sense of identity. Now I'm like, could dwell within my own skin.
Yeah.
I never felt myself until that moment.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because when I got sober, I had to completely like get to know myself again and try to find a different sense of confidence in myself when I got sober, because I did not realize that I was using the alcohol as something to get me out of that like social anxiety, to get me to actually be myself. And I wasn't even being myself. I was being wild and fucking ridiculous. And so when I got sober, I was like, shit, man, like I have to really talk to people. I have to really like build strong foundations with people and build relationships with people. I never even felt like I even knew my family when this whole time, like until I got sober, I was like, shit, man, like I really want to get to know my family. I want to be a good daughter. I want to be a good sister. I want to be a good auntie, you know, and it's just, it was different when I got sober.
Because you're present.
Yeah.
You're accountable. Like,
yes.
You're things that were foreign concepts.
Yes.
And to me, like, I got started so young that I never developed a lot of those skills, these natural, like, parts of being a human being. I never sharpened them. So I was just, basically, my development was stunted at 12 years old.
Dang.
In so many aspects, but I'm like a grown ass man child. Yeah. And I'm still, so now I'm like maybe 15 or 16 because I'm like 3.5 years sober. So maybe if I'm lucky, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I hear you though. Yeah. So like at that, it just perpetuated really, really quick. And I just, you know, prior to that, I loved sports. Yeah. I was like, all right. I wasn't like trash, but I wasn't like a great athlete. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I would work hard enough to where I would make the team and things like that. Pretty good, yeah. Yeah, be decent. Yeah. So, but I never really felt like I had I was decently good in school. I would get good grades, but I didn't really enjoy it, or that. But then when I started to get high, I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, yeah, this is how I feel good. I could I could write on walls, get high, you feel me? Like, hang out with kids that now accept me and we're like a part of the same thing. And like, that's. I feel that. I feel like when I got sober, I realized how out of touch with reality I truly was. How I was really just living in my own head, in my own world that I had made up. That it took a lot of work to kind of bring myself down from that, and I cried a lot. I got really depressed when I got sober. Because it sucks to fucking realize that, like, yo, I was a shitty ass person. Like, I feel like I'm a good person, but then when you really look at yourself and you see everything you've done and the way you treat people and the way you talk to people and the way people actually like treat you when you get sober, and they feel like, I feel like I had to realize that these people would treat me like I don't give a fuck because I really didn't give a fuck. Yeah. And then, so when I started to really care and want to be a part of my family or just friendships in general, I had to see that, okay, I'm going to have to change the way I talk to them because this isn't the way I want things to go anymore. I don't want them to treat me like I'm a little ass girl anymore who doesn't care about life or care about my relationship with my sister or my parents. You know, like, I'm just like, okay, I need to be more present. I need to be more engaging. You know, I need to be a better person. And it's hard work to do that. It's an everyday thing. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And progress, not perfection. Yeah. So. But with that being said, I want to hear about your journey before, because look, there's what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. So, okay. You know. So my journey, I feel like I was drinking and partying a lot for a couple of years. I was drinking alcohol and doing cocaine. And how old were you the first time you tried blow? The first time I tried it, I was probably, I want to say 19, maybe 20. So you're already, so high school ended. Yeah, I was out there. Yeah, and then there was a period of time too where I was doing ecstasy. You know, when you were raving, all that stuff. I'm an E-tard. Yeah. I'm perma-thiz. Yeah. So that, and then I didn't think it was abnormal until I started to get a little older and I was getting in relationships that just weren't really making sense. And I was also I was drinking everything to numb everything. So I was drinking to run away from myself. That's what I was doing. And it just got worse and worse and worse. I think 2019 is when I figured out that I had a fucking serious problem. I had. How old are you? 25. Okay. Maybe, I don't know. Okay, 24, somewhere around there. Okay. I was working at an animal hospital, and
I was drinking a bottle just to go to work. I was
A bottle of what?
Jack,
Like a fifth?
like those little.
Little guy.
Yeah. And I would have cocaine with me. So, and I was working graveyard shift too, so I needed to stay awake. And so I was drinking the bottle just to go to work, and I was just like, shit, man. Like, I loved the job. I loved helping the dogs, the cats. I loved it. But the environment of the work was just, it was just too much. And I
Are you
was
stealing
also,
the ketamine from the cats?
No, they log all that shit. You can't do that. And they have like another witness. Someone else has to sign for you when you take any drugs out of the cat.
I'd find a way. I'm stealing the ketamine.
There's cameras everywhere. So
Yeah.
but
So how much blow on like
oh my gosh, I was buying an 8-ball a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say it like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to encourage. But like, I was, the most blow I've done like 9 grams in a day before.
Dang.
It's like damn near 3 8-balls in a
Damn.
day. But that was like like Guinness Book of World Records.
Yeah.
Personal records. That's my PR. I just broke my PR 9 grams to the
Love
facial. Like, okay, but yeah, so that's expensive. So you're spending a couple $100s a week on blow
And alcohol.
and you weigh a lot less than me, so.
Oh, I didn't though. I was like, I just recently figured out that I lost a total of 52 pounds since I was sober. But that also took a lot of work.
You had some thickums going on.
Oh yeah. And I was like unhealthy. Like all the weight was just, whenever I gain weight, I gain it up here. So it was just sitting, and I couldn't fit into clothes anymore. Whenever I would want to like just walk or something, I felt like I was out of breath, and I'm just like, yo, I don't want to fucking live like this, man. Like, is this really how I'm gonna like I'm gonna start getting like up there now? Like I was weighing 189.
Okay.
Like almost 200 pounds.
Big girls club.
Can you even like?
I can't.
Sense. Yeah, like it doesn't make sense.
It's like 2 of you.
Yeah. Whenever I would see people after I started to lose weight, they were like, "Damn, like you shrunk in size like twice." Like I was just like, "Yeah, man, that's not how I ever lived. Like I was never like that. I was always active. I was a cheerleader growing up. I did cross country, like." So it just didn't make any sense.
You were doing cross country snorting,
right?
But putting some miles up your nose, girl.
For real.
So at what point? Ready, set, go. At what point? Like, did your coworkers or your boss, were they like, yo?
I don't think
Crystal's a little bit.
Okay, so my coworkers knew that I was drunk sometimes at work, but they never told on me. I think they were looking out for me a lot of the times. If I would miss like a certain, there's like treatment sheets, so you have to fill out certain treatments that the dogs need at certain hours, especially because it was like a specialty hospital, so there was dogs who had like kidney disease, diabetes, like all that stuff, so everything needed certain things at certain times. If I ever missed anything, my coworkers would be like, oh shit, like Crystal's she's not here today, like she's out of it, so they'd have my back and actually like do the treatments if I missed something.
God forbid Rover misses his 645 kidney pill.
Oh my God. It was honestly, so it's serious like that. People like with their animals, they'll spend like thousands and thousands of dollars. Like there was bills there for like 50 grand sometimes.
No, I'll let myself die, but God forbid my fucking dog stubs it. So like, yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah. So that was that. And then, so I actually, one day I realized that I was miserable at that job and I just stopped going. I didn't go anymore. I emailed the doctor. I actually showed up that day because I was going to put in my 2-week notice. I was going to discharge a Chihuahua who had seizures. I took out his catheter and he peed on me. And I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? I need to get the fuck out of here. So I just like took the dog to the owner up front, and then
it wasn't when he peed. It was when he peed. It wasn't when you're touching his dick. You're touching a Chihuahua's dick. That's fine. But God forbid you piss on me.
didn't touch it.
You had to.
No,
You have to.
I just picked him up and he just peed.
Okay.
With no gloves, huh?
No gloves.
No, you always have to wear gloves.
Disgusting.
You always have to wear gloves. Oh my God. But yeah, so I took the dog and I just said, fuck this, I'm leaving. I didn't tell anybody I was leaving, and I just took off. And then I just went on a journey on trying to figure out what I wanted to do again. I was at a job for a little while.
But you knew you wanted to do cocaine.
Yeah, I was still drinking. Sure. I was still partying. I was at the bar every Wednesday. My drink was Jameson on the rocks.
Yeah.
That's what I was drinking all the time, was Jameson on the rocks.
I like JMO.
Oh my God, me and Jamie were besties for a while. Oh my gosh.
He's a good dude.
Yeah. He's toxic though.
He's toxico.
Toxic as toxico for sure. Yeah.
But I'm glad that you are betraying stereotypes and not talking about tequila right now. So.
Yeah, no, I loved whiskey. Whiskey was my shit, man. I loved Jack Daniels. I liked Blue Label. I liked
Johnny Walker is a good dude too.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Very good dude. I mean,
liked
at a certain point.
Yeah.
I feel like the brown liquor leads to some really bad decisions.
Yes. Oh my gosh. At that whole time, obviously I'm going to work drunk, right? That means I'm fucking driving like that. Oh my God. Like I've been through so many things that I've put myself in so many dangerous situations that I'm just like, dude, how the fuck am I even alive right now?
Yeah.
How? And not even that, but like having hurt someone else, you know, like I don't want to. Oh my God, there's so many. But anyway, so that happened, right? And COVID happened. That's when it went downhill for me. I moved out of my parents' house. I was alone. But that's when I was literally drinking a bottle of Jameson every day. Every day. And I would finish and I would go to the liquor store and get another one. Like I even knew when they would start selling alcohol again, which is 6 a.m. if nobody knows.
Message.
I would literally wait outside of 7-Eleven to fucking buy more Jameson. That's what I would do.
Damn, your 7-Eleven sells Jameson?
They fucking right around the fucking corner.
That's a rare 7-Eleven.
Bro,
I need the address for that one. That's for me, Doug.
who does that?
That's messages for me.
Who gave him the fucking license?
There are certain.
I've never seen a 7-Eleven that sold alcohol.
Oh yeah.
They sold all of it. Like
I live in Santa Clarita now, so I don't know.
It's rare, but they exist.
yeah, Don Julio, like everything. They sold everything.
Look, there's blonde Asians and there's 7-Elevens that sell alcohol. They both exist. All right, like
Yeah, I guess so. Then,
trust me.
Oh my gosh.
Latinas who drink whiskey, like they're out there.
Yeah.
You know, like
That's rare to me. I thought for sure she was gonna say tequila.
yeah.
Nah.
Hey, like I said,
That's my drink.
we're all about defying stereotypes.
But I did love tequila. The only time I would drink tequila is when I would go to Mexico with my parents.
Yeah.
And I won't drink it. I wouldn't really drink it out here. The tequila out in Mexico,
You're getting the
is
real shit.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you wake up and you fucking feel good.
Yeah.
You don't wake up and you're hungover with tequila from Mexico. It's different out there. But oh my gosh. So that was happening and I was buying cocaine at the same time. And so I had a couple of friends recently, or around that time, that I had a coworker whose little brother had passed away because he like was something with fentanyl, like something was laced with fentanyl.
I was about to say that.
Yeah. And I was like, bro, fuck this, man. I can't be doing this powder shit. I don't know where the fuck it's coming from. I don't know what they're putting in here. I'm like, yo, I got bigger things to do. I can't just do this shit. I can't do this to my family. I can't do this to people that love me. So I instantly quit. Like I quit cold turkey 1 year before I actually got sober.
Okay, so you stopped the cocaine first.
Yes.
And I was gonna say, so you stopped doing blow in 2020.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like 2021.
Yeah. January, around that time.
Because I got my sobriety date is February 3rd, 2020, and I did blow maybe like a month before then.
Okay.
And I remember shortly before that, was partying with somebody and we did something. She wanted to get some blow.
Yeah.
So I got some from a kind of sketch person that I don't fuck with that much, but like, because my usual homie wasn't around, so I got it from somebody else. And like, I remember it looked kind of funny, but I wasn't really tripping it. And we're doing linas, and then like all of a sudden, I looked over and she's like getting tired, and she's like falling. I was like, oh yeah, we got that good Fetty Wap, and didn't
shit.
So that made me like really scared. At that point.
Yeah, and
you got out at a good time.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this, man. So that happened, and then I watched actually a big person that made me really realize about the fentanyl thing and the cocaine was Demi Lovato, as weird as that sounds.
No.
I watched her documentary and I saw how vulnerable she was, talking about how she was addicted and how she stopped. And I was like, yo, like, I just don't want to do it. So I stopped, and then, but things went on, and I was still drinking, and I thought I was fine. I didn't think it was an issue. Like, I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about anything. But then he came into my life and put up a mirror in front of me pretty much, and held me accountable for everything that I was saying. And because I was on social media talking about mental health, and I'm over here fucking drinking alcohol every day, like, and
so you were already on the mental health too.
Yeah, I was. I was talking about, I've been talking about mental health since I think 2018. And that shit, it was weird at the beginning too. People didn't like the fact that I was talking about mental health and depression and anxiety. It was after
probably because you were sniffling every 13 seconds.
Maybe. Fuck. Like, it was after Avicii had passed away, and I was like, yo, like, people need to talk about this. Or actually, it was Robin Williams. But yeah, it was around that time because he had like a good job, and he was like trying to pursue things, and he would just tell me like, yo, I see so much more in you. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And so it was just tough. It was tough for him too, because it was probably hard to deal with my ass and like
not
all
like
the time.
So so when my if it wasn't for my, at the time, we're not together anymore.
Yeah.
I have a new lady now, but at the time, my ex, who I was with for 3 years and change, she saved my life. Like, she literally came to me at my lowest moment when I was just like in the midst of pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization. And somehow, and I believe it's obviously through God, you know, I don't know.
That's what I was going to say right now. God probably sent her to you.
Yeah, like, and she was able to see through all the dysfunction and like see the value in me as a human and recognize it. And basically, just, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have gone to treatment, wouldn't have got it together, and would not be here to this day. So I owe so much to her, and that's dope that you know, sometimes it takes, at the end of the day, I believe that no human power can restore us to sanity. It's only God, but God might put certain people in our lives to help at these moments of pure depravity that bring us back to reality.
I agree. He was the catalyst and everything, and I was just like, man, like, okay, he's right. Like, there's so much more. And I started to kind of see and remember the things and who I was, and it sucked at a certain point too during the relationship, because whenever we'd go somewhere, or even on the first date, I was fucking drunk. The second date, I was drunk. Like, I don't even remember the first date. I was like, damn, man, that's fucked up.
And looking at bro, he don't seem like he get too faded. Like, I don't know. Bro seemed like he's got
a good head on his shoulders. And we actually known each other since high school.
Do you drink at all? Not at all.
I'm 6 months sober.
Okay. So you did drink though?
Lightly, never too heavy, but I completely stopped on New Year's Eve.
Okay, that's great.
And
you don't miss it?
No.
Okay. So y'all were friends in high school.
Yeah, we knew of each other in high school. I had a different boyfriend around that time, but he says that he met me and he remembers. I'm like, I don't even remember that either. But he slid in the DM. He slid in the DM and we went on a date.
Who slid in the DM?
He did.
This guy behind me?
Yeah.
Shit.
She was talking about you, bro. I don't know. You should beat.
No, I think it's Rick.
Hey, you should beat this fool's ass, bro. You trying to holler at your lady?
Nah.
Fuck.
Yeah, she made a mistake, Doug.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
supposed to answer to me.
Oh my gosh.
So you, key for some reason, maybe you got a cool Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he was like started. And were you already, because like you do modeling type stuff? And
Yeah.
Were you already doing all that?
Yes, I was. I've been doing the modeling for a very, very long time. And I was doing that as a side job too when I was doing the animal, the vet tech stuff. And then I also realized that wasn't for me. I tried to do training for a little bit, like personal training for a little bit. And I'm like, yo, like, this isn't what I want to do, man. Like, what am I going to do here? And then obviously COVID happened. I was struggling with like money and shit. And because we got laid off.
So yeah, and so what is somebody that's doing modeling, which requires being outside?
Yeah.
What do you do during?
So now, well, I started OnlyFans.
OF.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So
that's right.
I started that during COVID and it completely changed my life.
There's a bunch of scumbags in the comments that I'm sure would love to patronize your OF.
They're already asking for the OF.
Of course.
Drop the link. Drop Shorty's link.
It's just CRISTAL AGUIRRE. It just gets on there.
AGUIRRE.
Yeah.
Feel me?
But oh my gosh. But I did, and then I was like, okay. But that was also when I was still drinking. I was in a really bad mindset. And then again, like he came into my life and I was just like, oh, I'm good. But then I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? Like I needed to think about the future now. Like, okay, I need to use this and get the fuck out. Like I need to do something with this that's happening. So I was like, all right, let me get into this. And so I'm like, all right, how am I going to build a brand here? And I started talking about mental health and started talking about my sobriety. And that was where I was like feeling like it was lighting up my soul, was like, all right, this is it. Like, this is where I can figure out something along these lines to help other people.
But you're still drinking.
No,
not now. I know.
Oh, around that time?
Yeah.
At the beginning, yes. And then when I got sober, it was like, all right, I got a clear vision of what I really wanted to do. And then now I'm just like working towards that. But at that time I was still drinking.
So you started hanging out with bro.
Yeah.
He was kind of like, girl, get your shit together. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And did you just quit cold turkey? You didn't go to any detox treatment?
No,
like that?
I didn't do any treatments like that. I tried to get sober many times and I failed.
Yeah.
I would relapse every time. I'd be like, oh no, I could have one drink. Fuck no. I can't.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. When you're an addict, you can't just have one drink. Everywhere I would go, I would only think about, yo, where's the fucking alcohol? All right, I'm gonna go here. Oh, we're gonna drink. So I'd want to go to these places just so I could drink, like, or go hang out with my family, because that's where I would be enabled the most. Like, that's where I would bond with my dad the most, is when we would drink beer and watch a Lakers game or something. You know, like everything was drinking. But so I lost my train of thought.
No, but like it's really interesting to see like that. I feel like the relationship was, or at least at the time, that friendship that you guys had or whatever it was really instrumental. And I know even for me, at this point in my sobriety, like my ex and I split up back in August, and I got into a new relationship about a little less than 2 months ago. And I can't tell you how much I like being in relationships personally.
Me too.
Like I like having a partner.
We're not for the streets, okay?
Yeah. I'm not for the streets at all.
I hear you on that. I don't like to go out like that. And I don't like to meet random ass people online or like on Tinder. None of that. Like I've
never been on Tinder in my life.
Lush belongs in the streets.
I know, I'm for the streets. I'm a sucio. No, but
Buddy.
I've been like like I feel so much better, and it enables me to, and it's something that I want to work on about myself, because I don't want my mental health and my recovery and my happiness to be dependent on somebody else.
Absolutely.
But she came into my life at this time, and like I feel better than I have in so long, having a girlfriend again. It just feels so.
You were ready.
I was ready.
Yeah, you were ready. When you're working on yourself and you're doing things, it literally comes when you're least looking for it.
1,000, and I think that I needed to experience, because like with me, our addictions are very different. Like I was at a point where I had to go to a detox in order to, and I'd been in treatment several times prior to that, but I needed to get detox off of what I was on.
Yeah.
And I was wound up being in a treatment center for 4 months, and then a sober living for 2 months. So like from February to August of 2020, I'm in like a sober environment completely. And by the way, after being in treatment for a month, the fucking pandemic happens. So it's like the whole world's shut down outside of where I'm at.
Yeah.
But like I was with my ex and was so focused on her at the time that I kind of like made her, she replaced God for me. Yeah. And she became my higher power. And I needed to develop that relationship with God and myself. Yeah. So like losing her, as painful as it was, turned out to be the greatest thing that happened to me. Yeah. Because I was like, I haven't grown more or learned more in my life than I have like the past like 7-8 months. And then when, I'm not gonna say her name because you feel me, popped into my life, like everything's been
amazing
on the up and up.
Hey, Lush, can I ask a question real quick? Yeah. If it wasn't for rehab, do you think you could have went sober?
Me personally, no.
Because she did it cold. Couldn't you have done it the same way?
No, absolutely not. I mean, like,
that's why you're saying, like, I feel like because you said your addictions are different. Yeah. That you get certain withdrawals if you're so deep into your addiction.
100%.
That you could literally die if you quit cold turkey.
No, that's what it was. Yeah. And like I've withdrawn off of every drug you can. I've withdrawn off of opiates, withdrawn off cocaine, withdrawn off crystal. Yeah. Literally every drug there is. Now, there's only 2 types of withdrawals that are fatal. Do you know what those are?
No. The alcohol, what? Right.
Alcohol is one. Yeah. And benzodiazepines, which is like Xanax, Valium, and all that. Dang. And that's what I went to treatment for. Yeah. Was that I stopped cold turkey, everything else. Yeah. Or like, not cold turkey because I was using other drugs, but like I stopped everything else over like the course of some months. But I couldn't get off the Xans and like alcohol with it. It was like Batman and Robin. It was like a 1-2 punch.
What is that like, being on Xanny and drinking alcohol?
It's like being on super Xannies.
But I don't know, like, what does the Xanax do? Like, does it make you chill? Like,
yeah. Okay. So
I've never had, so I don't know.
I don't want to like inspire you.
No, you're not.
I should go home and fucking and relapse.
Yeah.
Fuck, don't say that.
No, so Xanax makes you just like relax to the point where you have no semblance of anxiety, and to the point where you're just like super confident, don't give a fuck about anything, and are just like singular minded on your own carnal pleasures.
No wonder it's addicting. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's like if I'm like, I'm hungry right now, all right? Like I'm Zen. Now if I'm hungry, I'm super hungry. I'm gonna go to that restaurant over there and I'm gonna order everything on the menu and eat it all, and then I don't really feel like paying. Like, fuck that. I'm not gonna get caught. I'm just gonna walk out the restaurant.
Dang.
Like, you make crazy decisions. You'll wake, it becomes like a time machine. Like, you'll wake up, how the fuck did I get here? Who was I with? Then you look at your text messages at the trail of disaster, like, motherfucker, you did
like Hangover.
It's like, it's literally, it's like it's a time machine.
Damn.
You just teleport off the Xans. And the alcohol fuels it, but then eventually what happens is you get tired, so that's why I would like do uppers with it. I would do a lot of blow with it, or I would do ecstasy, I'll do crystal, but then I need to to calm down, so then I'll take more of that, and then
Yeah.
it's just like,
Oh shit.
this like
up and down.
internal roller coaster, and my equilibrium was just completely shot. I don't know how I'm still alive.
Yeah.
So it got really, really bad. But the point is, and that's why I'm glad that Crystal is here, because there's no, we have, like, you and I, we're different,
Yeah.
but we're also the same.
Yeah.
And we have the same affliction,
I
and
agree.
it affects all of us differently.
Yes.
Now, also keep in mind, you, by the grace of God, were able to stop in your early 20s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't get better.
Oh my
it doesn't get prettier. It doesn't get more glamorous.
Yeah.
And if you had kept going on that path, if you're lucky enough to survive like I
Yeah.
did, like, you would not be in a better place. Like, you're
I'd probably be in jail.
at best.
Yeah.
Or,
Gone out of this world.
jails, institutions, and death, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's where this shit leads us.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we're of the same. Me and you were like the same DNA code, but it just manifests in different ways.
Yeah.
And there's like, look, there's people that when they hear my story, they're like, yeah, that's me. If he could get clean, I could get clean too.
That's it.
But then there's people that hear my story and they're like, this dude is a motherfucking nut.
Yeah.
Like, my addiction is not nearly as bad
Yeah.
as his. But then they'll hear your story and they'll be like, yeah, but that sounds like me.
Yeah.
I was doing an 8-ball a week, which is costing me $1,000 extra a month, and I was drinking and couldn't hold down a job and was fucking 60 pounds overweight and all that, and like wasn't in touch with my family and was in this dark place. And like, so they hear that, like, damn, she got it, and she got it together. She crawled about the mud, and here she is right now.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you talking to him, what was the catalyst for you just deciding, like, I gotta stop this bullshit?
God.
And how did God come to you?
In a dream?
I don't even mean like,
I'm not even gonna cry right now.
no, you can. Let it out, loved one.
I feel like he came through him. He started taking me to church. He's like, I think you need God. Like, you need God in your life. And I've never really considered myself religious. I mean, I grew up Catholic and stuff, but we never would go to like church. And we would go to church when I first got sober, and I think it was around maybe January or February when we first started to go. And then thank you. And the church we went to was great, and knowing that I was going with him, and Lent was coming up. So my sobriety date was 3/2/22, and that's when Lent started that year. And so I initially gave up drinking for God. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for you. And then as time went on, I felt like that I got stronger, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this for myself now. I'm gonna keep going. I could do this for myself. And month 2 came around, month 3 came around, month 4 came around. It wasn't until I was 6 months sober that I actually decided to put it out there and tell people that I'm 6 months sober. And that's where everything just became bigger than me. Like, I was like, this is way bigger than myself at this point. Now I can share my sobriety journey and try to help other people who are going through the same shit that I'm going. And maybe other people don't have the courage to talk about it, but let me be that. Let me be that. Let me get the fucking heat. I don't care if people judge me or talk shit about me because I do have OnlyFans, or talk shit because I post sexy pictures or videos, but I want to talk about mental health. I want to talk about my sobriety journey. Why the fuck not? If I can help one person, if I could. And I always get messages from people. Thank you for talking about your sobriety. Thank you, because I'm going through the same shit, or someone tells me like, oh, I'm also 1 month sober. Thank you. And it was because your video or something like that. And it's always been, it became bigger than my journey. It was just like, all right, it's for everybody else at this point. I don't even care about what people think about me anymore when it comes to that.
No, absolutely. So, absolutely.
Yeah. That's
beautiful.
really it.
That's beautiful. And I'm glad that you chose to focus on God and the spiritual aspect of it, because for me, that's like, there's no recovery without it. And I don't have anything in life that I put in front of my recovery, which I consider God. Like, God and my recovery are synonymous. Like, anything that I put in front of that, I will lose. Yeah. And it's you know, like the more open dialogue I have with God, just like, it's this weight that I don't have on my shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, it's a whole thing. And I can really relate to what you were saying earlier. And this is why we're the same, all of us addicts. Yeah. When you brought up, like, you had to relearn how to do everything sober, because you didn't know how to, like, I didn't know how to do anything sober. Dang. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know how to go to my family's house. Yeah. I didn't know how to hang out with my friends. I didn't know how to play sports. I didn't know how to be intimate with a woman. I didn't know how to do anything sober. I'm a musician. I didn't know how to make music. I didn't know how to do anything that I loved. I had to like relearn step by step. And I went back to being that fucking 12-year-old, uncomfortable in my own skin again, and kind of had to, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, figure it out. Yeah.
Figure it all out.
Yeah.
Like how to go to like a family function, how to go to a fucking, you know what I mean? A carne asada or some shit. Like, that's
how it is. You literally drink before you got there. You were already probably drunk before you got there. Yeah.
How to dance. Yeah. Like, I'm still learning how to be myself again. Yeah. And like, it's a blessing, but it is frustrating at times.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. And then sometimes, did it ever get easier for you?
Absolutely.
Do you still get triggered now? Like,
No. So to be honest with you, like, I'm around, due to the nature of my profession. Yeah. And just who I am and where I came from, like, I'm around drugs and alcohol all day, every day. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Most of my friends still actively use, still get faded. You know what I mean? Like, I've been around people doing lines. I've been around people popping pills. Yeah. On a daily basis, people are smoking weed around me, drinking. My girl drinks and smokes. You know what I mean? Yeah. She drinks and smokes. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like, I'll buy blunts for her, get her weed, whatever. Like, it doesn't affect me in the slightest. You know what I mean?
That's good.
Yeah. Like, but even like, so I don't want to like put her on blast too much, but yesterday, like, she got a little bit too faded. Yeah. And like I like took care of her while she was like,
be careful, Lush. It's a new relationship. Be careful.
I'm just saying, I took care of her while she was like yakking and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm like,
that's
damn.
Nice.
Yeah. You know,
at least see, like you're saying, you had to learn how to be intimate. That's intimate right there.
Right. It is.
She wants to feel like you're gonna take care of her.
Yeah, exactly.
Holding her hair and shit when she's throwing 100%. Up. You know, like that's good.
I'm like she fell asleep and I'm like monitoring her for a while, making sure like if she like goes like this, she probably going yak. I'm gonna need to, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because you can choke on your vomit.
Yeah,
you can
exactly.
Die. Like
exactly.
No, that's
we're,
good.
We're at the homegirl's house. I don't want her to puke on the homegirl's bed. Like, you feel me? Like, so we're all
that's good.
Hey Lush. So if a girl smokes weed and she kisses you, does that still count?
Shut the fuck up. Well,
that means you're sober still.
She might have been kissing Ralph yesterday.
Yeah, that was just a comment. I thought it was a comment.
Oh no,
I thought it was funny.
It is funny. So here's the thing. There's other drugs that are like transmittable through that. Like if you do coke, you know, you're like you probably kiss someone that's coked out, maybe that would make my lips numb, but I haven't done that since I got sober. So
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not fucking with it. And she don't party like that. She just drink and smoke, whatever. Like she's not like a drug addict or nothing. But it made me like grateful that I had the frame of mind to be able to take care of her. And I was like, damn, if I was fucked up too at that moment, like how scandalous that would be.
Yeah, like I'm sure it gave you like a sense of pride too, like in yourself. Like, damn, look at me, like I really am here. Like I'm able to take care of someone else who's, you know, enjoying themselves, obviously. But that's awesome. That's growth. Yeah. Fucking growth right there.
100%. And like, I don't know how, but somehow by the grace of God, like despite my dysfunction, maybe most of the women that I've been with are attracted to me because of my dysfunction, and they want to like take care of me,
save you,
try to help me. Like most of the women that I've been with, like my ex-wife, my ex-lady, like they've all been they're like of high moral fiber and a lot more square than me. You know what I mean? Like they're like professional women that have it together, and I've been like the fucking mess every single time. But
I hear you on that. Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes. I'm always just like, why the fuck are you with me, man? Like I'm like, you need someone normal who has like a fucking chill ass 9-to-5 job. Like fucking like I would always ask him that type of shit. I'm like, what are you doing?
I'm sure he's got his reasons. I'm sure he's figuring it out somehow. Somehow he's, by the grace of God, dealing with it. Right?
You're right. Yeah.
Like it's such a bad thing, right?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. How do you so how do you find? Do you feel like doing your profession, doing like the modeling and stuff? Is that ever in conflict with your path in recovery at times?
Not anymore, because when I got sober and I had to do photo shoots, because I would always do photo shoots and I would drink. Yeah. Just to get loose.
Get in the mood.
Yeah. Whenever I have photo shoots now, I have a couple photographers that I only work with, and they're really good friends of mine, and I feel really comfortable with them. So when I got sober, it was uncomfortable at the beginning.
They're gay dudes, don't worry. No.
to be shooting, and I'm like, shit, I need to I just get comfortable with myself. Yeah. And be confident in myself, and know that I look good or whatever. Like I can't do it like this. It doesn't, because I make sure that I pick and choose who I'm going to be working with, where it's not going to be someone or somewhere. I don't do any more of the import shows anymore. That's where I was drinking a lot too. Yeah. Like the car shows and stuff.
Because a lot of people.
Yeah. And I was always drinking at those things, and but it just changed naturally on its own. Like I wasn't like talking to certain people anymore. People who I thought were friends were just falling off, like bullshit connections that didn't have any substance. Like I would have conversations with these people, and I'm like, I don't even know these people. These aren't even my friends, bro. Right. Like, so my circle got really small, and yeah, it doesn't affect it anymore. But I will say, the reason I asked you if it ever got easier, because I feel like me being over a year now sober, it's gotten a little bit easier, but it's I still have times where I'm just like, fuck, man, I wish I could just have one drink. Like even after I hit the 1 year mark, I was like, okay, I hit 1 year. Are we gonna try? Are we gonna have another? Maybe 2 years. I don't know. You know, like, am I gonna be sober for the rest of my life? But I feel like at this point, like, I just don't think I ever see myself even having one drink.
Well, I'd be lying if I said that I don't wish I could. Yeah. Of course, that's never going to leave. Like, I'm always going to, like, in my heart of hearts, be like, damn, wouldn't it be nice? Yeah. But I don't have the ability to do that. Like you said, like, one is too many and 1,000 is never enough. And I know what's going to happen to me. I could play the tape forward and see what's going to happen, how this story ends, and it's not going to put me in a better place. Anything that I've accomplished in the past 3.5 years,
It all go fucking down the drain.
yeah, and I wouldn't have been able to do it clean. I was on a terrible path. I'd burned my entire life to the ground. I still make fucking retarded I still make dumbass decisions even in sobriety. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still fuck up constantly. I don't have it all together. From my first 2 years, blissful, and then I had a really rough year, and then it's been kind of like picking up the pieces from that and rebuilding. And I wouldn't have had the wherewithal to do that if I was getting loaded. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely.
And although like I know conceptually it sounds cool, when it's in front of me, like I recoil from it. You know what I mean? Like I know it's not gonna. It's like I recoil from it like a hot flame. Like I'm not gonna do it. And really, what it comes down to is this, and this might help you as well. I know this helped me. The layer of accountability of the people, of all the people that have been watching me, you know, family, supporter, fans, whatever, for the past few years.
Yes.
And they, like, you say you've gotten hundreds, thousands of messages.
Yeah. Yeah.
From people that, like, oh, you inspired me.
Yes.
I'm sober now because of you. Like, I have the same thing.
Yeah. It's definitely, that's also like good pressure. It's
good pressure. Like, I don't want to let those people down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like, it's fucked up because, like, for me, people, I've been, and I don't know if you ever experienced this, but people weaponize my addiction against me. And like, being from, you know, coming from like the hip hop battle rap world, and then like the LA podcast scene, I've cultivated a very vitriolic, volatile fan base. A lot of these people, you know what I mean? And I get it. It's a lot of testosterone. It's a lot of younger dudes.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, and I've noticed that because I was so transparent about my addiction, people will use it against me on a daily basis.
Oh my gosh.
So all the time I'm hearing about like, oh, look at this fool, he's a fucking smoker, dope fiend, tweaker, da, da, da. They'll put things on me that aren't even a part of my story. Like in their eyes, like I was fucking begging for change on Skid Row to buy fucking crack. You know what I mean? Like that's literally what people think. And
that's
like
wild.
And that's what they say, like, oh, like he was like on Skid Row. Like, no, I wasn't.
People on social media are fucking nuts,
it's
bro.
Insane.
Yeah, they're
or like
fucking
because I have a unique sense of style. I've always dressed weird, like how my own style, whatever.
Swag.
You know, a woman might say that, a fucking 19-year-old hype beast who fucking gets their entire sense of fucking style from the latest Supreme ad might be like, oh, he looks fucking weird. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. He's lame. Like, like, okay, that's cool. You have 3 hairs on your balls. I get it. Like, those motherfuckers, like, they'll be like, oh, he must be fucking have relapsed to dress like that. I was like, bro, like, I've been dressing the way I dress from day one. And I talk the way I talk from day one. And it's got but people like, because I was so transparent about my struggles and my addictions, yes, it helps a lot of people, but it puts me under a lot of pressure as well. And people like will look, I'm gonna tell you like this, if I fucking relapse, you wouldn't see me on a motherfucking podcast anymore.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
I'm not sticking around. I wouldn't have the wherewithal. I probably would wind up on Skid Row smoking crack at this point.
Yeah. And oh man, I hear you on all that stuff, because I've gone to an AA meeting before where this guy says usually a lot of times when you're an addict, if you relapse, you don't come back.
Yeah.
You don't. You just don't. So I hear you on that.
Yeah. There's no coming at this point, because I was going to fucking die. You know what I mean? Like, I was at the end of my rope, and I know I'm going to pick up right where I left off if I go back to it again. But it's like weird, like people's perception when you talk openly about addiction, they'll try to use it against you. You know what I mean? Like, and at the end of the day, I will take all that on the chin every single time if it means that the people that need to hear the message and it's really reaching,
That's it.
it's getting through to them.
Yeah.
And all the people that are hitting me up like, yo, I got sober because of you.
Yeah.
45 days sober to 1 year sober, fucking 30 minutes sober. I'm stopping because you like, and I used to get messages like, yo, I'm fucking on 2.5 grams of Molly listening to you right now, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. And I'm 16 years old. That shit would terrify me.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's my karmic debt to God and the universe to offset all that negative influence I've put out there.
Yeah, you transmuted it.
Right.
Use all that pain, everything you went through to help other people, to share the wisdom that you've, collected throughout the years through your struggles and all that. That's what it's about. I can relate to you when it comes to people saying that, oh, he's on the fucking Skid Row.
Yeah.
It's not the same,
Yeah.
but you said it's like similar because like I do have OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I do post sexy pictures. People want to come at me and talk shit to me because I do post sexy shit, but talk about mental health, talk about my sobriety. They're like, how the fuck are you half naked and talking about mental health? I'm like, why the fuck not? Why? Like, why?
I do not see a correlation there.
Yeah, so
It's 2023 for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
Who gives a fuck?
Exactly. So I'm just like sometimes it does take a toll on me, and sometimes I let it get to my head just because it's still really new. But he helps me all the time. Like, he's like, hey man, like, all right, well, what are you doing here though? Remember what you're doing, and I'm just like, okay, I need to remember what this is for. And again, I tell myself, man, fuck that. I'll take the heat, man. I don't give a fuck if people talk shit about me. As long as I'm doing what I know is right and I know who I am and I'm talking about my story and I'm speaking my truth and it helps somebody else, that's all I fucking care about.
We can't let that shit get to us.
No.
We really, really can't.
No. We have a bigger mission.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And that's like, I'm glad that you see it and I see it the same way.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like, no matter what, as much as I would just like to turn all that shit off and be like, damn, like I can't even live without motherfuckers getting on my line about some bullshit and then equating it to drug use when I've literally sacrificed everything that I fucking have in order to get clean. And it's like, even when it's easy, it's still every day is a challenge.
Yeah.
And I fight for that. Plus, let's look at it on another level. Like, this shit can kill us, right?
Oh, yeah.
Your addiction can kill you.
Oh, yeah.
My addiction can kill me. Now, I don't like to make comparisons like this because people automatically look at the differences.
Yeah.
But if somebody... I believe that if someone says to you, like, man, I hope you fucking relapse. Like, I don't like you.
Yeah.
I don't like your OnlyFans, whatever.
Yeah.
I hope you relapse.
Yeah.
That's like saying to someone that has cancer, like, yo, your cancer's in remission. Well, I hope it fucking comes back stronger and gets you.
Yeah, I hope you die.
I hope you die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're literally, when you make jokes about people in recovery, and you make jokes about them relapsing, and you you're literally talking about something that made my mom almost not be a mother anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like, made everyone in my life would be devastated if I died. And that's what, I overdosed multiple times. I almost fucking died. So me relapsing and you joking about that, you might as well just skip the pleasantries, cut the middleman out and be like, I hope this motherfucker dies.
That's it.
I hate him so much. I want to make fun of your life to the point where you should just fucking die, because that's how serious it is. It's not. I let the shit roll off my back, and I'll even laugh at a lot of the shit because it is funny. You know what I mean? Like, and sometimes the jokes are funny. I get it. You know what I mean? I'll make the same jokes. Like, I'm not above it. But at the end of the day, if you really break it down, just know that's what you're saying. When you're joking about me taking drugs, or oh, I think he relapsed, or he's gonna relapse, or this made him relapse. So the motherfucker, you don't know the half, and you're joking about my life.
Exactly. And especially if, people who have never been addicted to fucking anything in their lives will not know the amount of work that goes into this shit. The daily, the mental, the emotional, the physical, everything you have to fucking do to stay sober. You take it seriously when you get sober.
Right.
And I recently, okay, so I didn't know kombucha has fucking alcohol.
Yeah, I can't drink
That's
kombucha.
fucked up.
I don't drink
and I
kombucha.
didn't fucking know that. And I was so pissed. I fucking almost lost my shit. I almost lost my shit because of so I had kombucha.
Drinking a 6-pack before work.
Oh my
You
god!
gotta drink a lot for it to the alcohol to hit you, but
still though,
I personally don't drink it.
I read that it's risky for alcoholics to drink kombucha because it'll obviously like open the gateway to, oh, maybe I could have a seltzer, you know,
Right.
and then you fucking go down the
I
hole
don't
again.
do the non-alcoholic beer, any of that.
Oh my god! So I lost my shit, and I thought that I fucked up. I thought that I was like, I threw away the 15 months of sober. This was literally the last month.
Yeah.
I thought I threw away my 15 months of sobriety. I fucking cried. I took off the 16 months of sobriety thing off my Instagram. I took all of it off, and I was just having a fucking mental, emotional breakdown because I thought that was it. But then I went to an AA meeting, and they were like, no, you're fucking fine. Like, you're still 15 months sober, you know? But that's how serious I took it.
No, that's
how
good.
serious I take it.
I wouldn't hold it against you either, personally.
Yeah.
But like, you did the right thing.
Yeah. And it's just like, it was a lot when I thought about it. But then it also made me realize, so let me tell you this. So it also made me realize how much I identified with my sobriety. That I was like, shit. I identified so much. I would carry it like a fucking badge.
Right.
That that could just disappear tomorrow, and that's it. My sense of identity is gone. Like, I needed to check myself and be like, nah, girl, like, you're not just your sobriety. You're not just, you know, your mental health stuff. Like, you're so much more than that. So I had to kind of check myself there and like, okay, like, I can't really, I obviously am proud of it and I'll talk about it regardless, but I don't hold it up here anymore.
No, for sure.
You know?
And look, people
And I
fuck
did.
up. No, I can relate to you 1000%.
Yeah.
And I would have done the same thing. I would have freaked out and all. But like people relapse every single day in AA. I'll be in a meeting and people will be like, oh, I just fucked up. I had 5 years, and it's so fucking, it's part of the thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I can or want to or will do it.
Right.
But it is like, it's part of the thing. But I just think that we need to, it's important that we're a support system for each other as addicts, you know, like, you know, you're my sister in recovery, you know, I'm your brother in recovery.
That's right.
And we have to all be there for each other because the outside world doesn't understand to a certain degree. Because they, like, a lot of people might have just heard us talking about like how, what it really equates to when we make, they don't understand the power or like the darkness behind those comments that they're making.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like we don't, and I think a lot of people will look at it like, well, getting high is a choice. Getting drunk is a choice.
Yeah.
Getting cancer isn't a choice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But what about the people, like people get cancer from smoking or doing this or that, or, you know, people get diabetes from certain eating habits.
I'm like, cancer is a choice. You should fast. Change your fucking diet.
Okay.
It's a lifestyle change. Don't like, man. It's just, to me, anything that's a disease health wise, it really is your responsibility.
See,
it really is.
And there you go. So like, it is. That being said, there's a lot of nuances to what you said there, but I understand the whole health perspective, and I want to touch on physical health in a moment actually as well. But how I read that comment is, at the end of the day, we have a genetic predisposition, which is an allergy to mind-altering substances. When people like us use it, we lose control of our lives, and it eventually snowballs into a potentially fatal condition.
Yep.
So it's not to fucking play with. I don't play with it. Y'all want to play like that?
Yeah.
Go play with your bitch. You feel me? Like, don't play with me. Play with your bitch.
Period.
But so how important is physical health to your sobriety regime?
My health is my number one value. It's always going to be number one. I I started fasting. I do intermittent fasting, and I lost like, the 60 pounds I want to say like in a year span. I started exercising more. I recently, I've changed my diet many times, and it's really, you need to do your own research when it comes to like health and stuff like that. Everything's different.
What was your intermittent fasting like timetable?
So at first I started with 13 hours, and again,
okay, you gang banging with your intermittent fasting.
and then he always got like the worst of it, man. Like when I first started just fasting, I was always hangry in the morning. And he wouldn't even ask me like, is this worth it? Like, is it worth it? And I'm like, fuck yeah, it's worth it. Absolutely. For my health, it's all worth it. I don't care. So I did the research, and I was like, nah, I'm gonna fucking change my life. I'm gonna fucking do this. And at the beginning, so I did 13 hours, and I went up to 16, then I went up to 18. Then I did a 24-hour fast, and then I started to do 72-hour fasts. So now I do like 3 or 4 day fasts.
Were you like 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. type thing?
Yeah. Or it would be like 7 p.m. I'd have my one meal, and then I wouldn't eat again until the next day at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then I would still get my things done. The mental clarity that comes with fasting, or even just cleaning up your diet a little bit, getting rid of the processed bullshit that everyone's fucking eating all the time.
Yeah.
Like fucking McDonald's, anything in a package. Does anybody even know what the fucking ingredients are in there? Like, I had to tell him from the beginning too. I'm like, do you know what the fuck is in your food? Do you read? Like, or you Google it and you're like, what the fuck kind of like preservative is this? All this stuff is what causes fucking cancer. That's why our country is like obese and overweight,
right?
Because there's a fucking fast food restaurant at every fucking corner that's open 24/7.
Mexico's bad too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, like there's certain countries like North America.
Yeah,
really, like USA and Mexico are like two of the worst in the world when it comes to that. Dang. You go to Europe, you go to like South America, go to like Brazil. Yeah, you don't see that.
Beautiful as people.
Central America's got some issues with that, but like South America, people are look at people in Colombia and Brazil and Argentina.
Amazing.
Look at people in Europe, like Spain and fucking and Italy and France. Like everybody's like
the body is really not made to be consuming food
Japan,
all day.
They look amazing.
Yeah, Japan.
Amazing, except for the sumo wrestlers, but shouts to them, they doing it big. But okay, so that's I need to hear this, because when I went to treatment, we had a trainer there, and there's a gym, and we have like 5 days a week with the trainer, and by the time I left, I was in the best shape of my life.
Let's go.
And just been consistently deviating since it's gotten really bad. I'm the most out of shape I've ever been in my life right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. And I really want to like flip the script on that.
Okay.
Especially because like I'm like, people watch me every day, and I'm just like this fat version of myself. Like,
but I mean, I feel like obviously the physical aspect is one thing, right? I didn't think about it like, oh, I just want to fucking lose weight. I wanted to fucking get clear up here.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's huge.
Yeah. So I feel like if you want to focus on being healthy, focus on that. Like, have that be your goal. Like, all right, I want to fucking feel my best. I want to show up like and do shit right, and feel good while I'm doing it. I think that's what ended up changing for me. Like, I was like, okay, I want to get clear here. And I started to do research, because so I went to a psychologist. They put me on Zoloft right away.
Can't fuck with the Zoloft.
Oh my God. I was at work on Zoloft, and I felt like a fucking zombie. I didn't feel like myself. And
there's some pretty bad side effects for some people with that. I had some very unfavorable side effects with Zoloft. Yeah. And I was like, bro, this isn't fucking it. There's no way that this is how I'm going to get better mentally. There's no fucking way. Now, it does help some people. So shouts to them. Right. And medication, some people do need medication. Yeah. But I personally do not believe in any medication. I feel like we
our bodies heal ourselves. We can figure out remedies that are from the earth, and that's what I believe in. And I've personally felt it, so I'm just I always talk about it as much as I possibly can when it comes to health. And but so after I went through all that with the Zoloft, I was like, yo, let me do some fucking research and figure out what's gonna really like help me mentally. So that took a couple years to figure out, but that also is a struggle every day, mental health. Sometimes I get all up in my head and get depressed, and it's hard. It's just also you have to make a decision to get out of that, Yeah.
Yeah. It's habits.
Yeah.
It's all habits, right? But I hear you, like to attain a new level of clarity.
Yeah.
That sounds like.
Yeah.
And all I got to do
is beautiful.
It's hard because I feel like I've definitely replaced my addictions with
Food,
eating whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely understand. When I got sober, I gained weight for a little while because I was eating whatever I needed to eat or wanted to eat. Food, and it still affects me sometimes. If I'm not really clean on my diet, I'll fucking have Pyology 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
Okay, 4 fucking days in a row. I'll have fucking Cold Stone a whole week straight, which is the addiction tendencies that we have. You kind of, and it takes a lot to kind of be mindful about it and have someone who holds you accountable.
I used to be cold stoned every day. It's the same shit, right? Yeah. By the way, my boy Ralph is a motherfucking bitch.
Are you reading the chat? Are you reading the chat?
First of all,
it's friendly chat.
I know.
It's friendly chat.
They're cool. You're a bitch.
I just said you carried your car and you have cool water cologne. And
first of all, okay.
CK1.
Hold on. My cologne game is literally shitting on everybody's. I have the craziest.
Cool water cologne.
First of all, I will always. I don't give a fuck. There's 2 cents that I will always keep on tuck in the reservoir, as played out as they are. Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Those are classics,
and
though,
Cool
Doug.
Water
Classics.
will always be in the collection.
Curve.
No.
Remember Curve?
Yeah. No, that's like Paisa. Fucking like we're not.
Hey, my dad has Curve.
Okay. The defense rests his case. But with that being said, no, so in my bag, which you be seeing me pull out my motherfucking bag, that's Givenchy Gentleman, which is fire. All right, I
got Givenchy sliders. So.
I be on the motherfucking
Givenchy.
I got the Cartier cologne. I got motherfucking Tom Ford. My shit, like, I spare no expense with
Let's
the cologne.
go.
Spare no expense.
Smelling good.
Gotta smell good.
Smelling good.
You gotta smell good.
Yeah, presentation's everything.
You feel me?
Lush smells like Skid Row.
Yeah, see, you see.
Yeah.
You guys are having a deep talk, and I'm like laughing reading the comments.
No, the comments have been amazing today.
So we missed a couple super chats. We had a $5 super chat from NF. I'm not an addict, but I am a fuck up. It's inspiring to see you be able to start over. It shows it's not too late for a lot of us out here.
There you go.
And then we had a $20 super chat from Nick at Night. Shout out to Lush World.
Let's go.
Okay, we
Love
appreciate y'all.
Love it.
We definitely. The chat's been on fire. Love y'all.
You look like Tony Hawk skater with your cargo shorts.
These are all Saints, baby. Don't worry about what the fuck the players are doing over here. You can't even afford to be as eccentric as me. Get the fuck out of here. Shouts to Tony Hawk, though. With that being said, you're a very awesome, inspirational person.
Thank you.
Spiritually, mentally, physically fit, pushing the line.
I appreciate it.
You've been very open about your struggles, about your relationship with God.
Yes.
Anything else you want the people to know? I would love to have you back and do a check-in with you every couple months.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Thank you. That would be amazing. I actually don't really have anything to share as far as, if you guys do relate to something that I have to say in my story, can look for inspiration on my Instagram. I always post it on there, or my TikTok, and it's all Crystal Aguirre. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, look, I don't think we're going to take calls today. I don't think we need to do that. Just going to be some horny ass dudes trying to spit game.
That's good.
So
I'm good with that.
So I think that, but we will take calls tomorrow. So pop back up. We'll be there.
All right.
Don't play with us, make plays with us. With that being said, I want to let you know about our sponsor and let you know if you have any, inquire if you have any experience with this.
Okay.
You ever heard of honey packs before?
Honey pack.
Are they a part of your diet?
No.
Honey packs. So there's this company called Royalty Honey USA.
Okay.
It is the number one. This is them right here, Royalty Honey USA.
Okay.
They're the number one all natural sexual enhancement product on the market. You feel me? For
All right.
help you get it up, help you last longer.
He raised his hand back here.
You know about the honey packs?
You raised your hand, right?
Let's try it out.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
I got you. I got y'all on some honey packs. Absolutely. It works for both men and women as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
highly endorsed, game changer for a lot of people. And if you need it, it's gonna save your life. If you don't need it, it's gonna make your life a lot more fun. It doesn't count as a relapse,
All right.
so you're good to go.
That's good then.
It will make you light as a feather, stiff as a board, knocking it down like never before. For the ladies, it works for y'all too. It'll turn your pool into
An oasis.
an oasis. Splash on them. So what you got to do is go to royaltyhoneyyusa.com, www.royaltyhoneyyusa.com. Discount code LUSH1, one word, LUSHUNO, all caps, but there's no cap, all right? With that being said,
No cap.
join the Lush World Discord. One of the mods, if you're in there, drop the link to the Discord. It's going crazy. Great conversations in there. Recovery talk. Maybe Crystal will join at some point and chop game with all the constituents. Shouts to everybody with the super chat donos. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, get us in that algorithm. Push the line, baby.
Let's go.
Shouts to all the fly ladies out there. The butter pecan ricans, the dulce de leches, the chocolate deluxes, the caramel sundaes with the cherries on top, the French vanillas. Shouts to all the hustlers, grinders, players, go-getters, everybody working a 9 to 5, whether you're in the factory or on the faculty, and
go.
everything in between, whatever help you stack the G's. And y'all know the vibes. This is Lush World. Crystal in the building, and we about this, biatch. Out this.
Go.
Bitch.